Vin.
I'm sorry.
If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's the filthy capitalist option. As Sori says, $125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be a part of the alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. $125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and you get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at vinsori@gmail.com, and I'll show you the details about how to pull that off.
You can also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Yep. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
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 That's British for garbage.
My favorite is the community option. $1 at the gate gets you in at Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord.
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
And they do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go in the village, facebook.com/Vin and Sori. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sori and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 tier and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Buy our merch.
Buy our merch, indeed. Shall lead them.
To buy our merch. Okay. So, we are going into the next song on this birthday DJ stream. And if everybody could take a moment to keep your eyeballs on the clock, because we are almost entering her birthday.
Correct.
Literally
correct.
2 minutes out.
There's 2 minutes.
Yes.
So
we're going to do this song that we're going on to next is Chrome Division, Satisfy My Soul. Wait a minute. No, that's the one we just did.
No, it's Lady of Perpetual Sorrow is what it is. But
sounds happy.
Before that song comes, it's 11:59, so we are going to sing
a birthday song.
Black Satan 68 into the age of 25. By the way, she also has a 24-year-old girl in here too, who's her daughter.
You figure that out. Do the
Don't
math.
ask me about the physics of that situation, but without further ado,
professional singers actually don't clear their throat.
Happy birthday to you. That's a you. Happy birthday to you. That's a you. Happy birthday, dear Black Satan 68, mother of Leish Lobby, and that horrible demonic python. I hope it doesn't choke you. Happy birthday to you.
So everybody that just saw that, prepare yourself. Vin and I have been working on a song, and you eventually will be privy to hear it. So I'm sure you're very excited to see what musical talents we'll be displaying for you all. And some of you lucky people, perhaps some of our the people that have bought the most songs from us, might even be doing reviews for us on our song.
Lady of Perpetual Sorrow.
Here we go.
I'm the lady of perpetual sorrow. And as the sun, I cannot fathom anymore. My kin, my blood, so cold on the floor. To say goodbye now means forevermore.
Whoa.
Lady of perpetual sorrow. I had hoped to see you here with your stories in my mind.
Whoa.
I could dream all through the night, but when the stories of you, I look dead
Damn. Yikes.
That was. Is this a very sad song? I'm having a little trouble piecing together what these lyrics are talking about, but it definitely feels. I mean, Lady of Sorrow.
I think it's
a
talking
son talking about his mother.
I think he's talking about his mom because he says, it's line 4. As a son, I can't bear them anymore.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming he's talking about seeing his mom in pain. Hence the term Lady of Perpetual Sorrows, which is obviously a title of the Blessed Mother, Lady of Perpetual Sorrow. Mm-hmm. And so he's using that motif to speak about his mother, which is kind of interesting because
go ahead.
That elevates his mother.
I wish that you see that picture that's behind there.
Yep.
I wish that I knew where I saved that in my phone because I feel like it fits.
I can get it for you. Do you want to use that as the thumbnail?
No, I was going to put it up for people to see it.
Oh.
She's like going like this, but she looks like very, very sad. But anyway, My
kind of love so cold on the floor to say goodbye, though, means forevermore.
My kin, my blood. Did she die?
I'm assuming she died because he says she's on the floor. My kind of love so cold on the floor to say goodbye means forevermore.
Yeah.
So that means she's dead, I'm assuming.
But then he said, a never-ending state of mind, not willing to cross the line to never more come home again. I'm resting here, hoping to feel fine.
Hoping to feel the pain. That
Yours
says fine, that says the pain. I'm resting here. Well, that to me is probably him not being able to deal with his mother's death. So I think when he says never in a state of mind, he's probably talking about some sort of denial that he's using.
Well, he said, with your stories in my mind, I could dream all through the night. But when a story is of you, I look death right in the eyes.
Yeah. It says I look dead dry, though. I think dead dry is dead dry right or no?
I don't think your stuff is right. Mine. I'm on Genius. I don't know what bootleg site
Genius is...
I think...
Go ahead.
So... I'm not sure. We've had this conversation before, and you said you're not like this, and it's extremely difficult for me to process this. So if things are very difficult for me, there are times where I will take time to stop and think about them. But if they're very painful, I put them so far out of my mind that I forget that they exist. I know that sounds crazy. And then all of a sudden something will happen, and it will remind me that that painful situation is still happening. Or still bothering me or whatever. So, when he says, with your stories in my mind, I could dream all through the night, but when a story is of you, I look death right in the eyes. So it's like, you're going through, maybe you're thinking about your childhood. I'm going from his situation. Thinking about your childhood, and there's all these stories that your mother told. But then the minute your mother becomes a figure that was in that story, all of a sudden you're smacked in with the face with that again. You said that you always stay conscious of everything that has gone on for negative or for whatever. So you're never surprised by, like people talk about being triggered. You say you're not triggered because those thoughts are never out of your mind.
Okay.
And that's still accurate. That's true?
Well,
that's what you do?
When I'm triggered?
No, you don't get triggered because of that.
About what topic?
Okay. Did you hear what I just said?
Yeah. Go ahead. Okay. Say it again.
So I'm going to be a Kevin Samuels and don't read the comment section. He says that to the people. Okay. So you say that you stay focused. You have your consciousness is focused on not just what's happening in front of you, but the things that you've been through, the things that you've seen, and the things that are painful. So you said you're never surprised when something gets brought up. It's not like all of a sudden you're faced with the fact that X, Y, and Z thing happened, because it's always in your consciousness. So you're never going to get triggered. Where I said for myself, I will put something so far away. I mean, there's a particular thing that we both know is very painful that's happening currently. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And I'll put that so far out of my head that I forget that that's even a thing. And then all of a sudden something will happen and I'm reminded and I'm like, oh my God, that's hard.
Yeah.
So that to me was this. With your stories in my mind, I could dream all through the night. She obviously was good at telling him stories and had all these different things from different places, times, whatever, I don't know. But then he says, but when a story is of you, I look death right in the eyes. Because to me, it's like, she told you the story and then all of a sudden she becomes a figure in the story that she told you. And when that happens, all of a sudden you're face to face with the reality that she's no longer there.
Yeah.
But you're saying that doesn't happen with you because you're always conscious of...
Yeah, it's fascinating to me that you can push something that's bothering you to that degree to the point where you're not thinking about it.
Oh, yeah.
That's strange to me. I don't have that kind of power.
Yeah, I don't think it's healthy, though, because I'm not growing in a certain situation. Because it's on pause.
Well, I mean, I don't know, what you're looking for to gauge
growth.
Your growth. You know what I mean? And obviously that's probably an offline conversation, but it looks to me like you're going through you're growing through stuff, but.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying, I'm not like you. I don't have it in the back of my consciousness all the time. It's in my consciousness right now, which is why I'm getting emotional.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, for me, I never thought about doing that because I just, I've always been I've never seen it work. I take breaks from stuff. I'm not thinking about negative shit all the time, but.
Well, I think
usually for me, if a bad memory comes up out of nowhere, I assume it's because God wants me to look at it. So if a memory comes up out of nowhere, I'll just stop what I'm doing and take the time to like investigate it, see what's going on, instead of being like, you know, like I used to like physically fight against it, like shit would pop in my head and I like literally like, but now it's like, because I'm already thinking about shit, like, you know, it's just kind of a background thing, but sometimes something becomes very, very prominent and it comes out of nowhere, you know. And so I heard a pastor say one time, actually no, it was a dude that wrote Wild at Heart. He said, when that happens, it's God, you know, trying to bring it up and trying to engage with you on it. And most of us just say, oh, it's a bad memory, and don't think, well, what's God's purposes behind me randomly getting this bad memory?
Yeah, you told me that years ago, or X whatever, and I actually forgot about that. But I think, though, that let's say somebody has some horrible things happen to them when they're a child, where most people would think that person's not going to remember that because they were so young. But that person does have to still deal with that as a child and not have anybody to talk to, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think that there's lots of reasons why people might learn how to put something so far away that,
yeah, I mean, I think
if you don't have the tools to deal with the knowledge that you have.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's because I have tools. I just think probably one of the reasons is because when we were growing up, there was just so much shit happening that it's like, what are you going to do? You're going to push everything out? You're going to not think about every day? Because every day some shit was happening.
Yeah.
Like, when we first came to this country,
exploding. I
woke up, mom and dad are arguing. Mom and stepdad are fighting. Like,
yeah.
And I'd never seen that before. Like, because my dad was by himself. It was the dad and the maid, the housekeeper. So I'd never seen adults fighting and all this shit, especially the ones that are supposed to be my parents. So
I never met your mother, but she definitely sounds like a Spitfire. Like, she's not trying to let you think.
I mean, you know, you got Zoe, you got, you know, my sister, and you got me, you know, like that's how my mom was. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's how we all, you know, that's just our family. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just.
I'm pretty sure you brought it up. I'm not going to bring it up, but the chair situation,
yeah,
with that white guy, to me was like, it was so hilarious.
Yeah, like yeah.
But anyway, yeah, I guess. So yeah, I guess you're looking at it like, how could somebody do this? Like, how could you put something so far out of your head that it doesn't?
Right, it's mind-boggling to me. Like, you know.
No, I don't think that, you know, the way you're responding, you almost sounded like that's an art form to be able to do something like that.
Yeah,
I don't think it's a healthy
crazy
art form at all.
I mean, I don't admire it, but I do kind of, you know, I'm like, well, shit, that must be an interesting life where there's so many times between episodes that you can push one of them out. Mm-hmm. We didn't have time between episodes.
Yes.
Just one big long
No,
one.
That's true. I can see that.
You know what I'm saying?
But then you know what ends up happening? So there's someone that pushed me to my friggin' limit, right? A day ago. Yeah. Okay, so that person has done so many things and I keep pushing it out. But when they trigger me, all those other things start coming back and I'm like, holy shit, you've crossed the line way too many times now. This is it. You're done. You're done.
Yeah, you have.
Make sure you don't see my face again, because I don't want to see yours.
You have. You cross too many lines, man.
So
yeah. See, that's the thing. Like, I wish Homeboy would start like saying some reckless shit.
It's not the same, babe.
How come you don't say any reckless shit? You just leave it to the girls.
So anyway, so in a situation like that, it doesn't actually work out for people's benefit, because, you know, they thought everything was cool because I was cool and calm, but all that stuff was just held off in some pocket somewhere. Then all of a sudden it comes back, and then it's like,
yeah,
you shouldn't have said that.
Yeah, she shouldn't have said that.
But this was
it is very
this
interesting.
is a beautiful song as well as sorrowful.
It is interesting, like, you know, when my mom died, like, looking at the way my brothers reacted, and then looking at the way that I reacted. And I thought to this is like a thing, like, to this day, like, because I had to, you know, I had a lot of shit going on that summer when my mom died. So I was like, literally every minute of my day was accounted for. There was something to do. You know what I'm saying? So when my mom died, like, it was kind of unexpected, but I expected it. That's a different story. And, you know, my two brothers, you know, it was just, you know, they reacted in the way that, you know, they were supposed to react. Mm-hmm. I didn't shed a tear. And, you know, it's like, since the channel, like, I don't have a problem with crying. I don't have a problem with any of that shit. But since it, you know, before that, I just knew that if I did that, like, I wouldn't be able to be what I needed to be for everybody at the time. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, as pretentious as it was, I felt like the whole city was depending on me. And then, you know, I had my guys, and obviously we depended on each other, and shit was pretty, you know. So there was just a lot of things to where I could not be in a like fall apart mode or whatever. Like I had to be like, okay, and what are the times and funeral? And I went and spoke at my mom's funeral and shit. My brothers couldn't talk or whatever, and I just went on with life. You know, I had you know, a class to teach that day or whatever, and I just did it. You know, like, so I didn't have the time to sit there and be all, you know what I'm saying? Like my brothers did, but at the time, I just wasn't able to do that because I just had too many things back to back to back to back. And then it's like, oh, you're going out of the country. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, like, I can't be on the plane. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, worrying about my mom and all this shit, crying about it and worrying about my brothers. Like, I got to be on go. Like, people aren't, you know, the families of my guys aren't worried about that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, obviously, you know, they love me or whatever, but...
Yeah. Yeah.
What does that have to do if their husband doesn't get home? You know what I'm saying? Like they're not trying to hear your little sob story. So no. I kind of pushed that to the side for a while, and it's another one of those things where I think that because I usually don't do that, but because the situation was just so crazy, I couldn't really feel all of it. So I was like not feeling the shit on purpose, and I knew I wasn't. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But.
When did you let yourself?
I honestly really truly think it was a channel, man. I just do. I just think that, you know, like I just think, you know, being around, you know, because metalheads, like they've been through the shit, you know, and it's a little bit hard to relate to people out here, especially in church culture and all that, because church people have been through shit, but it just takes them so much longer to say what it was because. You know, if you say so-and-so abused you or whatever, it's, you know what I'm saying? So, anyway, shout out to the moms all over the place. So, that's a deep song. Deep song. It's a silent count for me. It was a very, very good song, though, because it kind of hopped and skipped into a bunch of different genres. It started off one way, didn't sound the way I was going to start, the way I thought it was, because we had just listened to a song from them. Then we listened to it. You know what I'm saying? I was like, wow, like, the intro was kind of weird. I was like, okay, I know where they're going. Then it went to the whole bike metal thing, and then it went somewhere else. It was just a lot of really cool...
And there was a pretty sound to it as well. But I always feel like that there's... This probably sounds really sick, but I always feel like there's like a... Loneliness and sorrow, there's a sort of romance to it where it's beautiful in music and stuff sometimes. So anyway, I guess, you know, I think I'm going with a silent count too, because like I think about you and your mom a lot. I dream about it sometimes, you know, and so it's a, you know, and I remember, like, I have some clear memories of when that time period was taking place. And, you know, I'm about memories, but that there's actually quite a few clear memories of that. And I hate that for so many reasons. So yeah, so it's a silent count for me as well.
There you are, dear listener. Good song, though. Very, 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 very good song. Shout out to my mom, and shout out to Black Satan 68, who's still here, and her daughter, Brown Demon 24, is also in the house. Having said that, dear listener, Vin out.
Sorry, out.
Gone.